Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another DOKURO reaction. I haven't heard of or from DOKURO since December of last year. It's been a while. Not a lot of people tend to request this artist. I remember liking him, but I also don't remember at all what their work sounds like. But Quirky Person wanted me to get to this one, so I guess it's going to be kind of like a reintroduction to this artist and maybe feeling out a different sound because it's been a while and I don't know how different this may be from the other song, so I won't know if I don't listen. So without further ado, let's go! Yes. The good old epilepsy warning. Always a good sign. Sitting heavy on the atmosphere buildup. Oh. That's a synth I haven't heard before, I think. I don't know Natalie by name. I've heard other synth fees.
Keep walking.
Ooh. An alto.
Don't lose that balance.
Oh.
Focus on anything but the floor.
I can barely tell this is a synthetic vocal.
Move forward.
She's got a little bit of that noise in her voice, but she almost sounds like a person singing. Yeah, it's got some of that warbliness in there, but oh, what amazing tuning. Oh.
Things happen. Not much to do now.
I'm still flabbergasted by the vocal quality. That is nuts.
You figured out how to smile. The winds of repression escaping your lungs, but from the fallacies of trying to pretend.
Perfect harmony.
Where is the voice that you gave to yourself? If the remorse could choke it out of you again.
I'm at a loss for words, I think, with how well this vocal is done.
Keep walking.
This is unreal.
Just keep walking.
Oh. Ooh. Plus, to be honest, it's so atmospheric, there's not too much going on with the music, but the vocals are carrying it like crazy. Oh, another beautiful harmony. I love the dissonant harmonies. They're so tonally appropriate for this. And I love the vocal round, the echo that they're adding. That's so cool. I'm realizing I'm sitting here with my mouth agape. I'm forgetting I'm supposed to be recording something.
The winds of repression, escaping your lungs, built from the fallacies of trying to pretend.
It's only in the little details of the voice that you can even tell that this is a V-synth at all.
Never seem to
Everything else is so perfectly adjusted to sound human. It's
keep walking.
It's written perfectly in the character's range, as well as just being so haunting. And again, just perfect on the humanization side of things. Holy shit. And just a beautiful song altogether, but whew, those vocals, dude. I really want to get into the lyrics of this song as well, but I want to start with just continuing to reinforce the beautiful effort on the vocals here. It is some insane quality. I cannot begin to explain. I've talked to Ippo TSK about how well they've done V-synth stuff and how well they control the V-synth vocals in general. And this makes Ippo look like a bitch. I'm sorry, Ippo. I am friends with Ippo. I'm sorry, Ippo, if you're watching this. Holy shit. And I think Ippo would agree too. This is some insane work. This is nuts, like unheard of levels of attenuation to the voice. Like every little humanizing thing you can do. They had slight gaps and like the dips and little scoops in every single bit of every single phrase were so meticulously crafted in this. It is phenomenally accurate, and it's scary almost how close somebody can get when they know how to use a voice well. This character, this V-synth, perfect range for this. She resonates beautifully in this range. She's got an awesome vibrato for this too. It's not too much, it's not too little. It's just enough to sound a little real, which is also reinforcing all of the prior things. It's just, God, it's probably one of the best, if not the best V-synth works or any sort of vocalized synth of any sort works I've ever heard. I've heard a lot of good ones. I've heard a lot of people put their heart and soul into it and they get really close. This is a human. You know, like this is a whole different breed. This is a person singing, and they did that. They got that humanity in there. They cracked the code. DOKURO cracked the humanity code of V-synth. This is, hands down, again, aside from that slight warbling, which honestly you could probably filter out if you really knew how to do that, but also, yeah, it's a little bit difficult. Point aside from that, you cannot distinguish this from a human. If I gave this to somebody who didn't know it was a V-synth of any sort and was told to listen to it and give the opinions on the vocalist, they would not know. Nobody would know. They would just be like, wow, beautiful vocalist, who sang it? You know what, like a V-synth, what do you mean a V-synth? You're telling me that wasn't a person? That's what I'm talking about. That disconnect. If I didn't see that this was a V-synth from the start, I wouldn't have believed it until I saw it in the credits or something. It is so nuts. I'm surprised I haven't heard more from this character at that point then, with how perfect her voice just settles right into this darker tone of this song, which I will now lead into the whole discussion of the lyrics. It's just this song, how dark it is, how real it is, how visceral the message is here. Keep walking. You're basically walking yourself to death. You've done so much. You've tried so hard. And at the end of the day, no matter what you do, things have fallen apart. Where was that essence that kept you going in the beginning? Why has that decayed? Why do you feel like you're decaying? actively walking through life and continuing to do the same thing over and over again. This like ego death almost that you experience just trying to live your life. This sense of importance fluttering away because you're not sure who's in control of decisions anymore, but you have to keep going because even despite all of that, you're still you. Like despite everything that's happened in your life, there's still that aspect of you being yourself. And even though the world may have like pulled you down and kind of ripped your sense of self away, there's still the point of you can keep going. Don't end things yet. Keep walking towards that completion, that finish line, because you're the only one who can do that for yourself and who you are. There's one you. All of this is kind of what I'm getting from the lyrics here. And it's a dark presence in the song, but also kind of a beautiful subtext to it where it's like, it's depressing, this like feeling of the lyrics kind of pulling you down and making you experience that ego death with the character or the person singing this or writing it. But at the same time, it's a little bit optimistic of just like, don't quit yet. You know, there's still more to do, and you are the one to do that. So that's a really beautiful message as well. And it's been a while since I've heard something that's touched on that specific lyrical message. So I really appreciate that as well. The haunting energy of the song, there's not too much to talk about, again, with the melody and everything in here. It was beautifully haunting, but as far as the melody goes and everything, it was lacking a lot of that, but that was exactly the point. This was an atmospheric sort of thing. It was supposed to grab your attention in a darker recess of your mind that wasn't just, oh, look, happy fun time song, you know? It was meant to challenge you a little bit and make you reflect. I can definitely feel that. It's just, oh, such a beautiful song. I'm adding this to a few playlists of mine just because it's so gorgeous. I feel like I would be doing a disservice to not add it to them. This song almost feels like a musical panic attack, but not like in the way you would expect it with like, you know, the heightened part of the panic attack. It's like the emotional catharsis on the back end of that where you're just kind of like, oh, okay, wait a minute. We're not like, things aren't blowing up. The world isn't ending right now. And it's kind of that sensation of coming down from that adrenaline high and just processing it. Really, it's just really processing life. And that's why I like that this song sits in that atmospheric space, because that's kind of what happens. I've had panic attacks before. I've got mental disorders. They fucking suck. Luckily, I'm not nearly as frequent with it as a lot of people are, but I've been there. I've had panic attacks. Building this room, I had panic attacks. It sucks. Things hit you like a freight train and you just don't know how to handle it. You don't know what to do to process all of that. But when you realize that, and after that point, that like, I'm sorry to make a joke out of this, but it's like a post-nut clarity of having a panic attack, where you're just kind of coming out of that mental state and things suddenly make sense. You get that rush of adrenaline to kind of pull you back in, and you get the endorphins that are starting to like realign themselves, and things start to make a little bit more sense. And that's what this song feels like. So I'm sorry I had to make a joke about that. It just came to my mind and I couldn't not say it, but the message is still there, and I believe that it's a very wholesome thing while also just settling on this really dark subject matter that a lot of people are afraid to touch on. And DOKURO doing that is just chef's kiss. I'm so glad that they touched on this, because not enough people touch on it in this kind of way. Usually when people talk about this sort of thing, it's either upbeat and it's like, hey, let's not worry about it. Life is life, you know, like, let's keep going. And sometimes you do get more depressing songs, but this doesn't hit like a depressing song. This hits like a reflection of reality, not something that's really emotionally present in any way. It's a very neutral zone to be on. And that's why this hits me so hard. And I'm kind of mad that this only has 200 some odd thousand views since 2022. This is such an impactful piece, and I feel like if more people have heard this, it would do so much better. Like, it hits for a lot of people. I feel like this is not a niche thing to talk about, but I feel like so many people haven't heard this yet just because it's not a big creator comparatively. Sure, they've got a lot of subscribers, but it's also like, that's not the whole story. Music does take a little bit to circle around and get to more people, and I feel like this song is still sitting in the wings, waiting to be the story somebody needs to hear, to be that sound somebody needs to live in and understand and reflect and resonate with, to make themselves reflect on their own lives. It's definitely the type of song that once somebody who needs to hear it hears it, it'll change their life entirely, and that's got to be one of the best things you can do as an artist, as a musician, position to make that impact on somebody's life. And a song like this existing at all is a great first step for a lot of people. So I really hope more people see this, because I know a lot of people who would do well from hearing this sort of perspective and feeling this sort of neutral energy in a song talking about this subject matter. So just beautiful. I can't stop geeking out about it, but I have to shut up eventually, so I'm going to do that now. Thank you all so very much for watching. If you have something else you want me to get to, by all means, drop it in the comments below, and I will do my best as always to get to those. And thank you to Quirky Person for putting this into the queue. This was a beautiful request. I'm so glad you put this one in here. And if you want to have anything guaranteed, much like Quirky Person did for this one, you can always go to my Patreon or my YouTube memberships to guarantee a request using my executive producer tier. That's always there. I don't know if I have any slots on Patreon currently, but I don't know about YouTube, so there might be one. If you have one you really want me to get to, that's definitely a way to do that. Doesn't matter how good or bad it is, who it's by, none of that. That's why it's a guarantee. But otherwise, if you just want to follow me and support me for more stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that. And I will see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!